Any large amounts of United States currency in the vehicle?
Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, and those of you that are new here, welcome to Debo's Nation. Today I got a great one for you. It's not going to be anything like you've ever seen before, and in fact I think this is going to be one of the best videos this channel has ever done. It's going to be more of a discussion of possible abuse of government power, and today we're going to be diving into a deeply troubling and controversial situation that raises serious questions about government power and individual rights. In this video, we cover a case where a man has lost his entire life savings due to law enforcement seizing a large amount of money that he was carrying. And despite being fully cooperative and answering all the questions, his funds were confiscated because the authorities suspected it might be drug related, even though carrying large sums of money is not illegal. And you'll see the incident, the footage and the details of the man's interaction with the police and the subsequent seizure of his money, and legal and ethical questions, and an exploration of the implications of his actions and the potential misuse of authority, the impact on the individual, a look at how the situation has dramatically affected the man's life and financial situation. This is a significant, distressing issue that touches on a critical question of civil liberties and law enforcement practices. And we want to hear from you. Share your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. What do you think about the potential breach of rights? Is this abuse of power, or are there other factors in play? Your feedback is crucial in fostering a meaningful discussion on this matter. So don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more important content, and engage in comment section below. Your voice matters in this conversation. And there's not going to be any movie clips or any kind of funny play going on, but this is going to be a serious discussion, so we're just going to get right into it. Sorry, I was muted there. I really hope that everybody's having a good time out there. I'd just like to say hi to everybody that's in the chat. Howdy to Willow. Howdy to Dark Watch. Hi, Alan Eyes, Accurate Outrage. Terry, the Ironton Auditor. He's my guest tonight. Nicole, thanks for coming. Dark Watch, Willow. Nicole Roshin, thanks for coming. And I don't know if I've forgotten anybody. Kanye, thanks for being here. Greg, thank you very much for your donation earlier today. I really appreciate that. Every little bit helps. The monetization is on this, so memberships are available if you like, and also super chats as well. Thank you very much, Greg, for your donation today. It's greatly appreciated. And with that being said, I'd like to introduce my co-host for tonight. This is the Ironton Auditor.
Hey, everybody. How are we doing this fine, wonderful evening?
How are you tonight there, Ironton Otter?
You know me, man. I'm good for nothing, but guaranteed good for it.
I have you on here tonight because I think this is a subject that you're going to be very vocal. And I know that you've been vocal in the past on policing, and so have I. And I believe that the police got this wrong, I think.
I think it comes down to a question. And my question would be, are the police allowed to steal your money? And by the word steal, I mean take something that doesn't belong to them. Are they allowed to do that? I think people might be surprised if they don't already know what's coming.
I firmly believe that this guy has not done anything wrong. He's declared everything in this video, and he's been nice with the police, and he's been forthcoming with the police. And I just don't see anything wrong with what this guy's done. And I think that judging by the video that I watched with this, which is from EWU Body Cams, and I was reading some of their comments, and this has got wide scrutiny throughout, and a lot of people are behind this guy. and it's I'm going to be really interested to hear what you got to think. So how about we just get into it? What do you say, Terry?
Sounds, sir.
Thank you very much, Connie. Connie Corso, thank you very much. Your donation is greatly appreciated. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart.
How much money you got in there? Okay.
This marks the very moment when police pulled over a combat veteran and took his entire life savings.
He says it's $100,000. It's in a Ziploc sandwich baggie.
I must have had your ears burning because I was complaining about not having enough hundreds in my drawer.
On February 19, 2021, a retired Marine is pulled over by the Nevada Highway Patrol when he makes a bizarre confession, leading officers straight to a huge stack of cash. As surprising as this is, the events that follow will prove to be even more shocking, resulting in intense public scrutiny and a lawsuit that plans to challenge the American legal system.
The driver of this vehicle was following that red and blue semi-truck too closely, less than a second.
I just want to say, for instance, Terry, just watch what this guy's doing to get pulled over. He's actually following the law, and he's not even going above the speed limit. The officer even commends him for driving safe. So just watch this encounter as it comes.
Following distance, also driving under the speed limit. Stop him up here at Mustang, make sure everything's okay.
Officer Chris Brown pulls over Stephen Lara of Lubbock, Texas.
Travel appearance. Hey, good morning, Trooper Brown, Nevada Highway Patrol. How are you today? I'm doing great. Hey, the reason I'm stopping you, we have a special enforcement campaign going on. We're trying to educate drivers about violations they may not realize they're committing, but we're seeing a big increase in crashes out here. First, applaud you on your driving. You drive great. You're driving really slow. It appears that you're trying to drive safely under the speed limit. I appreciate that. I just want to talk about your following distance, especially around commercial vehicles. Sure. Came up behind a red and blue tanker truck, a little bit too close behind him. Yeah, you got to navigate that. You got your driver's license with you?
Sure.
Awesome.
I appreciate you, by the way.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Do you have a registration card with you?
Well, it's a rental car here.
Okay.
So I do have my rental. If you don't mind, it's underneath here.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Any weapons in the vehicle?
Absolutely.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, if you can grab the rental contract, that'd be great, man.
Stephen tells the trooper that he's going to Portola, California to visit his daughters for the weekend before heading back down to Texas. He answers all of Trooper Brown's questions without hesitation and appears to be in good spirits, completely unaware that this seemingly average traffic stop will soon transform into an all-out nightmare.
You said your daughter lives up in Portola?
No, 2 daughters.
Okay, they both up in Portola?
Yes.
Come on over here, man.
All right.
You a fighter?
I'm a fighter?
Yeah, you got a tap-out shirt on.
Well, I've got a lot of training. I'm a retired Marine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. What'd you do for the Corps?
Well, I was a data chief initially, but
Okay.
then they changed the MOS to cybersecurity chief.
Okay, when'd you get out of the Corps?
I got out 2 years ago.
Give me a second, man. All right, just hang right there. Ever been in trouble with law enforcement before?
Never.
Okay.
While Trooper Brown radios in Stephen's information, Stephen truthfully answers all the questions about his job, hotel reservations, and weekend plans. However, Stephen will soon find out that this lighthearted chat might not be as innocent as it seems, as Trooper Brown is about to reveal that an unsafe following distance may not have been the only reason he was pulled over.
Hey, while I'm working on this, let me ask you something, man. This is going to sound kind of weird. Part of my job out here is I do what's called highway interdiction. I look for people that are smuggling contraband through our state, across the country, weapons, humans, drugs, illicit currency, things like that. Anything in the vehicle I should be aware of? Okay. No firearms? No explosives? Okay. Are there any drugs in the vehicle? Cocaine?
I don't do drugs.
Yeah, I gotta ask all these silly questions, right? Okay. Any large amounts of United States currency in the vehicle? Okay. What's a large amount of U.S. currency to you? Okay. So there's over 10,000 in there? Okay. How much money you got in there? Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Would you give me permission to search your vehicle today?
Hey, Debo.
That's okay with you?
Does that sound suspicious to you? I mean, the guy has no drugs, no guns. He's obviously not really a danger on the highway. He's been warned about his following distance. I'm wondering, obviously doesn't seem under the influence of anything or to be properly trying to evade police, driving safe, all that stuff. What is it about the money that automatically makes him suspicious and now he wants to search the car?
I don't think that there's anything wrong with this at all. Like you said before, we've had these discussions before that it's not illegal to carry large amounts of money with you. He claims that he doesn't trust the banks, and for whatever reason that he doesn't trust the banks is his prerogative. But like you said, there is no I don't even know the reason for the pullover. Like he said he said he was doing all the right things and he was just following a little bit too close to a semi truck. And then now that he discloses that he's got this money in his vehicle, which is not illegal, and this guy knows it. He's said it to him many times in this video you'll see, and it's a rental car as well. So anything that's happened before the rental car has got nothing to do with him. So I see nothing suspicious about this whatsoever at this point.
I was just wondering, obviously the officer feels that there is suspicion. Now he wants to search the car and look for something, right?
That's right.
Just curious what your thoughts were, sir.
Okay, perfect.
Regardless of one's belief in their own innocence, it's advisable to not consent to a search of one's vehicle under any circumstances. Although he has the right to refuse, Stephen voluntarily agrees to let the trooper search his car, completely unaware of just how much he will come to regret that decision. As Trooper Brown gets the paperwork ready, Trooper E.J. Tumanoval arrives on the scene.
Reach out this way.
I'm about to see my daughters.
All right, on. Out here in Reno? Out here in Reno?
Well, it's all California.
They doing okay?
I know you guys are suspicious. I'll ask lots of questions so I can get to. Yeah, I'm not really worried about anything, so I'll give you any information you want. But.
As Trooper Brown gives Stephen the paperwork to read and sign, Trooper Tumanoval heads to his vehicle to get his sniffer dog, Jill, nicknamed Jillybean, to see if she finds anything suspicious.
Jillybean, 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 Jillybean.
This part here too, I don't really like. I mean, the guy's going back to his car like this is a game, and you're talking about a guy's life savings is in his vehicle right now. He hasn't disclosed it, and the only thing I could see is maybe I'd have a little lockbox maybe for it, but the fact that it's in a baggie, I don't know. I mean, that to me that still doesn't matter how you transport it. I mean, he doesn't believe in banks. That's his forte about it.
Well, not to defend the officer's demeanor any, but when it comes to dealing with the dog, it is like a big game. They do treat him like a child, that's how you get the dog to work, to be honest, as bad as it can seem. So his getting the dog ready to work, that's what he's doing. That's the baby talk he's using, believe it or not. I don't think that's meant to be unprofessional, though it might seem that way. It's about getting the dog in the mindset ready to do his job.
Yeah. Okay.
Pretty girl, we can play.
While some dogs sit to signal a positive hit, other dogs are trained to freeze, just as it appears Jill does while searching the car. After letting Trooper Brown know it was a positive alert, Trooper Brown searches the contents of the trunk when he comes across a camo backpack. Meanwhile, Stephen drops a bombshell on the trooper when he reveals just how much a lot of cash really means.
You guys do this to everybody, or?
I just stopped out with you. Our job is to look for traffickers. I'm not saying you are.
I'm a retired Marine.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know. I was just called here to.
He said you
help
do this
out.
to everybody. Sounds like it, don't it?
What's that, Terry?
He said, you guys do this to everybody. It certainly sounds like they're used to doing it quite frequently, doesn't it? Sounds like they know what they're doing.
Oh, just the way he pulls them over and he tells them that this is what they're looking for. They're looking for the unusual, and that is unusual that somebody's carrying that kind of cash, but it's not illegal.
That and it's not necessarily could even be deemed suspicious. Unusual doesn't mean dangerous. You know what I mean? There's a lot of
Yep.
things unusual doesn't mean.
Yep.
But I thought that was interesting. He said you do this to everybody, and it just seems like
Is
they're
it?
very well.
I don't know. I almost got the same if I would put it down. I don't know.
He's gonna find a large amount of cash in there.
Is he?
That's okay because I got my receipts in there too. So
How much cash?
a lot.
Hey, he said there's a large amount of cash in there.
I already told him.
Oh, did you? Okay, cool.
But in the same bag, you're gonna find all my Bank of America and all my receipts. I don't trust banks, so I keep cash.
Oh, do you?
So
Okay.
I don't have anything to hide from you guys, and I know it's not illegal to keep a large amount of cash either. So,
Nope, not at all. How much cash you got?
probably about 100 grand.
100 grand? Oof. Have you ever been stopped before and had money taken from you? From the government?
No,
No.
I know you guys. It's not illegal to have a large amount of cash either.
No, not at all. Nothing's wrong with that. This is Reno, so we get people coming with a large amount of cash all the time to go gamble. And
So I don't have a problem with you taking my cash because it is mine. And it's,
There it was. Did you hear him say it?
Trooper Tumanoval shows an interest in the top.
What's that?
Did you hear him admit it? Oh, no, it's not wrong to have a large amount of cash. We get people through here from Reno all the time with large amounts of cash. So he's already admitted it's not so unusual, and it's not to be deemed. I just wanted to point that out since he said it himself. Obviously, he has no reason to think that a large amount of money is suspicious. He just said that, did he not?
Yep.
With his own words. Yep. Okay. Just wanted to point that out.
Tire sitting in the trunk of Steven's rental car.
what's in the tire?
Cracked rim. I'm getting it repaired over here.
Are ya?
Yeah. You guys can cut that tire up and look inside if you want, but I would ask that y'all reimburse me for the
Right,
tire.
right. Oh yeah, the state would do if we did it. If it came to that, we have items that we can check first before you get to that point.
Whatever you need to do. Yeah.
Trooper Brown makes a call to someone who, according to court documents, is DEA agent Shane Murray.
Hey Shane, how are you? Good. Hey, can you head out to a traffic stop? Or are you busy on that other stuff on today? So if I'm still searching the car, but a big bundle of money, it says probably at least 100,000.
After telling Agent Murray their location, Trooper Brown continues to search the contents of the trunk.
Hey, Brown, you just got something to tell you about the
What are
rim.
y'all like real suspicious and all? That rim is cracked. If you grab my phone, which is in the car, and you look at the last number I dialed, just hit redial. I won't even touch the phone. You'll see that there's a place up here in Reno that fixes cracked rims.
Okay.
And they'll pick up, and all you gotta do is identify it, and you'll see that I was trying to take that in to get that cracked rim fixed. I cracked it in Texas because it's snowing, and the roads are and there's big potholes and everything. So I'm just trying to get it fixed because I know the place up here that fixes it, and that's all I was trying to do.
I appreciate that, sir.
No worries.
Unfortunately,
Wallflower. The reason for the stop was he was following too closely, and that's why he originally got pulled over. But that to me is also in question as well. What do you think, Terry?
for Stephen, despite his assurance, Trooper Brown is still unsure of him.
This doesn't make sense. There's some receipts in here, though. But
You said you put receipts on. Show us the money.
okay.
But
All right, man, so here's the deal, all right?
Okay, now, Ironton Otter, you know what happens anytime the police say, "Here's the deal." Here's the deal. Nothing ever comes after that. It's not a deal.
No, well, it's not a deal for you, but apparently they are getting pats on the back this evening.
Yeah. What was I going to say? What do you think of it so far? Are you?
Well,
What's your thoughts?
so far, I guess nothing really has happened. It seems ridiculous to me that they would call the DEA. I mean, there's no drugs, no evidence necessarily to believe there is. There's only a large amount of cash, which he's already admitted cannot be suspicious in and of itself. And yet, it seems like he's doing everything he can to find something. So
Well, let me ask you $1 million question here. How do you stop answering questions from the police without being even more suspicious? Like, how do you come across saying, I've answered most of your questions, and I don't really think that I should answer any more, like without them wanting to go get a warrant or anything like that. I mean, for him, I think it would be hard for them to get a warrant. But
Well, you have to understand, getting a warrant is not easy, right? It's not as easy as people think. They have to have some type of oath or affirmation as to something, right? There has to be somebody there to swear it's there and where it's at and all that fun stuff before a judge will sign it. However, that will not stop them from threatening you. And if you don't know that there's a whole process to doing this, that they can't just make a phone call and get a warrant, right? You might be persuaded into giving more than you wished. However, if they're already going through this much trouble with you, the best thing you could do is shut the hell up, to be honest, because the more you talk, the more they are going to use it against you. That's what they say, right? Anything you say will be used. Well, that's long before you're placed under arrest, right? Your Fifth Amendment does not begin when the handcuffs come out. Your Fifth Amendment begins when your eyes open in the morning. And when you're dealing with the police, the best thing to do is to use it, because if they're going to find you suspicious, as you see, they're going to do it anyway. So let them think whatever they want and deal with your attorney. Make sure you don't go running off at the mouth, or you say something the judge will be able to use against you, even if you're not guilty.
I think this guy is offering up way too much information. I think he's saying,
Well,
I mean, he's answering all their questions. He's not veering off of what his, he's not saying, well, I told you this, but it's actually this. It's like his story doesn't change.
He's doing everything he can to answer all their questions so that they'll let him go about his business. He's trying to prove his innocence, but that's the problem. He shouldn't have to prove his innocence. If they have nothing to prove his guilt or believe he's guilty, they should leave him alone. That's the law.
Yeah. Let's hear some more.
I think you're a good guy. I don't know.
I'm a good guy.
So how much cash is that?
About 100 grand.
100 grand. Yeah. So, as you know, right, I'm a vet, he's a vet, you're a vet. It's not illegal to carry currency, that's currency.
No, sir, it's not.
It does, though, make us ask some questions on why someone has 100,000. I can understand why you don't trust banks, especially in this day and age right now.
Discipline and lots of savings.
What's that?
Discipline and lots of savings.
So, with that being said, if you're willing to talk to me about it a little bit, I'd like to. I know you got a bunch of receipts in there. I just want to make sure that it is your currency, that it's not being used for nefarious activities, right? That it's not money laundering or something like that going on. That's the questions that are raised, that potentially money laundering or something like that's going on. So
that money right there is for my 2 daughters.
Okay. Are you going to give it to them on this trip or no? Or that's just your nuts?
That's my money and my two daughters' money and nobody else's.
Okay.
I take that money right there and I buy them things. Put food on the table, buying clothes with that right there.
Fair enough.
That's me looking at you man to man in your eyes and telling you exactly what that is.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
I got some questions I'm going to want to ask you here in a few minutes. If you're willing to answer them, I'd appreciate that.
I have nothing to hide from you.
After Stephen agrees to further questioning, Trooper Brown reaches out to his sergeant, Glenn Rigdon, to update him on how things are progressing.
It's a strange one, but not a strange one. Consented to a search, said there was money up there. We located what he says is $100,000. It's in a Ziploc sandwich baggie.
Although it's not known what Agent Murray says to Trooper Brown, the call only lasts for about 40 seconds, and Trooper Brown informs him that he will start a brief with him, likely referring to Stephen.
Hey, Stephen. Stephen, you don't have any weapons on you, right? I know you're in... You mind if I just pat you down real quick? Face my car real quick, man. Man, do me a favor. Have a seat in my front seat for me.
As with all other previous requests made by officers, this is something Stephen is more than willing to go along with because, as he puts it, he has nothing to hide. Unfortunately, however, he still doesn't seem to realize that the more he agrees to go along with their requests, the deeper the hole he has dug for himself will grow. Now that Stephen is aware of his rights, Trooper Brown can finally begin the questioning process.
So, what is the source of the currency that you have there?
Sources and how do I make my money?
Yeah.
I'm a retired U.S. Marine. I get money from the VA for my disability. And it's money that I have earned from my employment, my job. Doing IT work for a hospital. Sure.
Why do you transport bulk currency like that?
Well, there's nothing illegal about it.
No.
It's, I keep it on my person and I secure it.
Okay. So for security?
I don't trust banks. That's
Okay.
why I have a large amount of currency there with all the receipts, which I keep in there for this type of purpose, in case anybody questions it. And if those receipts get looked into, you'll see that those are my accounts that those deposits are made for, or those withdrawals are made from.
And it's
Stephen
sad
goes
that
on to inform the trooper that he owns a debit card and only uses banks for direct deposits before he answers even more questions about the money.
Is there any reason that you can think of that a trained drug detection canine would alert to the presence of drug odor coming from that vehicle?
No.
Okay.
Like I said, I gave you a consent to search the vehicle. I have nothing to hide. So
Okay.
if the dog alerted you guys, I can't tell you where it's coming from because I don't do that stuff.
Okay.
Nor do I have it. That is a rental car, so I don't know. I can't control what happened before I got it.
Fair
I can't
enough.
control what happens after I drop it off.
In cases such as this one, if officers persist in questioning, it's typically because they lack sufficient evidence and are seeking information that could be used against the individual. At this juncture,
Just because a canine alerts to a vehicle does not automatically implicate the individual in drug activity, especially when no drugs are found in their possession. And canines are trained to detect various substances, but their alerts can sometimes lead to false positives, particularly in U.S. currency, which is frequently contaminated with trace amounts of drugs. This scenario is a growing concern in the U.S., where such false alerts can lead to wrongful assumptions and actions. The presence of drug residue on money is common and does not necessarily indicate criminal behavior by the person carrying it. The issue highlights a significant problem with law enforcement practices where the reliability of canine alerts can be questioned and individuals can face undue scrutiny and legal consequences based on potential inaccurate evidence. What do you think of that, Terry?
You know, you would think that the cops know this just like we do, right? They pretend like they don't know and that the dog knows all, but I beg you to question the fact that your fate is being put in the hands of a dog. A dog.
Yeah.
Just saying. Does that sound logical to anybody else? Or, you know, a dog?
Well, like you said, it's a rental car, so he's got no issues or has no responsibility of what happened in that car before he took possession of it.
If that dog hits on that car and they do not find anything, I don't care if he had 1,500 kilos in the trunk. If there's nothing in it and he's not under the influence, cut the man loose with his money. You have no proof of anything. I don't know what they're doing.
Just to accurate outrage says 90% of our money has drug residue on it, and I've
Right.
written down a few things here before it, and so I've got this written down here. It says it's startling to learn that between 60 to 100% of U.S. currency is reportedly lined with traces of cocaine, a reflection of its widespread use of contamination in various transactions. This persuasive issue highlights a significant concern in cases where individuals face scrutiny over money suspected of being linked to drug activity. In the recent incident involving a man whose money was seized during a traffic stop, it's crucial to understand that any traces of drugs on the currency are not indicative of his involvement in illicit activities. The man's possession of the money, particularly in the context of renting a car, should not be automatically linked to criminal behavior. The condition and the history of the currency before it came into his possession are beyond his control, underscoring the need for a fair and thorough investigation to distinguish between legitimate financial transactions and unfounded allegations. And I believe that I believe this to be true. I mean, you don't know what happens to money after it leaves your hands. And then whenever you bring it to the bank, who's to know what happened to that money before it went to the bank?
Well, the worst part of the whole thing is their suspicion all started with a bag of money that they had no business in anyway. Now, because of the amount of money, which they say is not unusual, we see the large amounts of money here all the time. So they've already admitted what you're doing is normal, natural, legal. There's nothing wrong with it. Yet, here we are. Why are we here? We should have never been here, ever. Should have never been here. You know what I mean?
If you want to go back to talking about the dogs never found any drugs
Right.
in the vehicle.
Smelling money and barking at it or lighting to it doesn't mean a damn thing to Ironton Auditor. I can tell you that. Doesn't mean anything. me. They have no suspicion of any foul play whatsoever. They admitted that from the get. It was all about the money. They're looking for a way to take this man's money, ain't they? That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to take this man's money away from him.
And I think he's answering all their questions in, like his story doesn't change here.
It's because he's being honest. He doesn't have anything to hide. He might be an oddball to most people, but that doesn't make him odd. It just makes him different than us.
Yeah, I was reading some of the comments of this video as well, and they were saying, a couple of the comments were saying that it's not up to him to prove that it's drug money. It's up to the police to prove that it's drug money. And to me, they haven't proven that at all, not even close.
Well, they shouldn't be able to hold him and or his money or his car until they can either. If they don't have a suspicion it's connected already, they can't hold him until they can find a suspicion. That's that seems to be the number one problem I see with law enforcement in the U.S. a lot on YouTube anyway, is a lot of officers don't understand that suspicion is not a crime. You say, well, what you're doing is suspicious. What am I doing? I'm standing on the sidewalk. That can't be considered suspicious, right? They say, well, it's enough for me to question you. Well, no, it isn't, because you don't have any reason to question me unless I'm suspected of committing, am committing, or am about to commit a crime. If there is no crime in the past, no crime right now, or no crime in the foreseeable future, then they do not have a right to allow their suspicion to stop me from doing what I'm doing. But that seems to be the misunderstanding. They're like, well, it's suspicious. To who? To you? Right? But suspicion is not a crime. You have to be suspicious that I'm committing a crime. I can't just look like the wrong kind of guy in the wrong kind of place at the wrong time. That is not suspicion of a crime. That is just suspicion. Does that make sense?
I hope that makes sense to me, yeah.
I hope that explains the difference.
Yeah, let's hear some more.
It's crucial to cease further communication and seek legal representation. Stephen is being fully cooperative here, and yet the treatment he gets is contrary to law enforcement's claims that cooperation would prevent such actions.
If the currency was to be utilized for a business transaction, personal purchase, is it going to be used for any of those, or is this just your savings?
It's my savings, and I plan on buying, getting a home.
Okay.
For my daughters and I in Texas.
Okay, so you're planning to use that to buy a home in Texas?
Yes, absolutely.
Although Stephen has been an open book throughout this entire process, Trooper Tumanovow is keen to take Stephen's amenability a step further.
Hey, so you said you're okay with us going with your phone?
What do you want to go through my phone? What are you looking for?
Just trying to verify everything's correct like you've been telling us.
The only thing I'm authorizing you guys to do is make the last phone call I made just to verify that I was going to take that entire, that rim in to get it fixed.
Okay.
But, I got personal pictures and stuff in there. I don't want you guys looking at pictures and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
I want both of your pictures if you're okay with that.
Yeah.
So I can look at everything else but your pictures?
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine? Okay.
Despite any officer's demeanor or apparent friendliness, it's imperative that one refuses access to their cell phone in a given situation. As awkward as it must be to have a stranger look through your phone, Stephen has no idea how much more uncomfortable things will get. But while the questioning comes to a close, Sergeant Rigdon pulls up to the scene where he can be heard taking a call from DEA Agent Murray.
What's up, Shane?
There was just no way I was going to be able to make it out there.
No issues. It's too easy to do an adoption. We contacted you, so I think everything's going to be okay. And I'll text you the money count after we get it. It'll probably be a couple hours.
For those who are unaware, adoption refers to the process of property seizure by law enforcement agencies as permitted by the U.S. Department of Justice's Equitable Sharing Program. When an adoption takes place, the federal agency keeps 20% of the proceeds, whilst the remaining 80% kicks back to the state or local agency, which is in...
What do you think about that?
I knew it. They were stealing his money, weren't they? That was exactly what they were doing, was stealing his money.
20% goes to the federal government, and then the 80% goes to the Nevada Highway Patrol.
And if he's able to get through court to get it back, he has to spend probably a quarter to half of it just to prove it's his and legal anyway. You want to know tyrant pig cops? There they are, Debo. You want to see true tyrants in action? There you go. You want to see true pigs who deserve to lose a job? There's a couple of them right there. Sound like a DEA agent and a few cops to me.
I think
What do you
this is
think?
just, I think it's unbelievable. I mean, they're not finding anything. His story's not changing. He's an ex-Marine of 20 years. He's got no criminal activity. He's got no past. And you know what they said to him? They said to him that usually people that carry drugs across the border and stuff like that don't usually have criminal activity, and they don't usually have a criminal past, and they don't do drugs.
I think that the proverbial heads deserve to roll for this. That's what I think. This is ridiculous. And the problem is, this isn't an isolated incident. This is happening right through that area a lot because they know there's a lot of money coming through there. So they just pull people over just in hopes that they got a certain amount of cash so they can seize it, because that's what they're doing. It's
I mean,
thieving.
the way he talks about his daughters, you know, and the way he talks about his career, you know, him being an ex-Marine for 20 years, been in since 2000, and the way he talks about, you know, caring for his daughters and stuff, like, it melts my heart a little bit, you know.
They just stole this guy's money in broad daylight. They pulled him over and robbed him. That's what everybody saw it. Is there anybody in here that doubts this man just got mugged?
It's unbelievable. Let's hear some more.
In this case, the Nevada Highway Patrol.
So here's the money. He has a ton of receipts. He's in the military, he gets the VA money.
Is that what we're getting in for?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an for backpack. You guys get pictures?
I think Kristen, yeah. I'll put it on the car. We haven't done it.
While processing this information, Sergeant Rigdon briefly examines a bag of MoneyGrams and what appears to be money orders.
Balance is 1246.
Having finished questioning Stephen, Trooper Brown asked Trooper Tumanovow to hang out with Stephen so he can share his findings with Sergeant Rigdon.
And these balances never. Got no balances on all these.
Connie Corso, we'll talk a little bit later after the video whether he's sued or not, and there is a bit of an outcome to this, so we'll let you know in a minute.
2019. I mean, there's not a lot in there.
Since the arrival of Sergeant Rigdon, Stephen appears slightly agitated, perhaps finally realizing just how out of control this situation has gotten. Despite his frustrations, Stephen still manages to keep his cool, unaware that Sergeant Rigdon is about to test his patience even further.
Come out here after? I know if you don't talk to me, it's all good.
I was a little frustrated, man, because I'm being treated like a criminal right now, and it's not your fault. This had a lot of bad experience in the past. I get it.
It's very, very odd to carry 100K in cash like that.
Yeah, but it's not illegal. But I can understand.
It's not illegal, but
I can understand your perspective. And everybody's been very professional. I didn't have anything to hide. That's why I let you search my vehicle.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, I told the gentleman here I don't trust banks.
But you have 5 different banks to deal with. You got Wells Fargo, you got Plumas Bank, you got the Bank of America, and then there's one other bank in there. So I mean, you do trust banks.
Well, no, I don't, because if you look at my
direct deposit has to come to a bank too.
Sure, it does. It goes to Bank of America. Yeah. But if you look at my banks, there's no money in it. That's why those receipts. That's why I keep them. So if you call the banks and you ask them, and I'll call them right now and ask, or I can show you what's in my bank accounts.
Despite Stephen's conviction, he'll soon learn that no amount of reasoning will help him out of this situation.
So why the distrust for the banking system?
I just don't trust them.
Yeah.
That's just my reasoning. It's my personal thing.
Oh, I'm not trying to convince you one or the other. It's just it's not usual.
I understand.
And so we're looking for the unusual.
Sure. I understand.
With the currency and stuff, I mean, somebody ripped you off, or I mean, you look like you could take care of yourself in a fight, but you know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't feel comfortable going around with cash.
Well, I mean, I can understand where you're coming from.
I mean, how long did it take you to accumulate that much?
Oh God. I started saving since I was on the Marine Corps, 20 years.
How come it's all hundreds?
So I don't have to keep more. Oh. I mean, if those were all ones, my God, I'd have to, so you get more.
Yeah. We usually It's actually a cool trick. So 1 bill weighs 1 gram. So if you weigh that and get the grams, and you multiply it times 100, you can tell by weight roughly what it is.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
So you can like weigh your money and watch it grow.
Learn something new every day.
It's very, very odd.
They said it was. Didn't they? Didn't that guy just tell him a while ago that having a large amount of money in that area on that highway was they dealt with it all the time? So obviously it's not odd. Which is it? I feel like somebody is full of shit, Debo. What do you think?
I feel like there are a lot. All these officers are full of shit right now because they're saying that they agree with his story. He doesn't buck on the story at all. These receipts like 1246 to me that sounds like a weekly paycheck to me.
We have no reason to believe this money is made by illegal means, but we're going to take it anyway. Wow. And this is America. For all those people that think America is not becoming a police state, you better wake the hell up. Like now, you better wake up. You better know what they're doing to people in places that ain't here. We don't have that problem here in Ironton, at least not yet. But they do have it in other places in the country.
But look, whenever you were doing that, your videos, and you did that one on the dog, and then it's like they never did any more videos on the dog anymore. They were pulling everybody over, and that dog was going out after everybody. And then, then you did a video on him saying, "Well, I don't believe in this one," and it's almost like you brought something to light, and then they never started doing any more dog searches anymore after that. I'm not saying maybe it wasn't because of you, but who knows?
Well, one more thing, not necessarily, you know, I'm not pro-police, but I don't hate law enforcement either, right? But not to defend them, but to make it, just to make sure that everybody gets accountability and transparency. Since marijuana was on the verge of becoming legal, and now has, any dog that was trained to smell marijuana can now not be used in the state because they can't, you know what I mean? They can't really retrain the dog not to smell for it. So they have to have a different dog that's not trained to smell for it, if that makes sense, in order for it to be legal.
I think this is absurd.
This is a crazy case here. That'd be like pulling your wallet out of your pocket and saying, "Hey, that money smells like money. I better keep that." That's suspicious.
That's my $100.
It looks just like the money I had in my wallet yesterday. I'm taking this.
Oh, but they take his money out and they fan it out and they said this doesn't look like 20-year-old money. I mean, okay, he doesn't have the same bills he had from 20 years ago. Like you can easily go to the bank and get things, like changed over. Like he says, he doesn't carry all ones. He carries them in hundreds. Like he shouldn't have to justify how he's carrying the money, though.
Yeah, well, these same assholes that are taking his money probably think that they should decide how he spends it too. Well, you won't bet. Well, you won't bet each one of these self-righteous sons of guns went home and thought about that all night, about how evil this man was. And I bet they celebrated and patted each other on the back for such a seizure too. And it's damn ridiculous. And I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed by it. I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Wait do you hear some more here?
On it, and you'll be on your way very soon.
After expressing his suspicions to Stephen, Sergeant Rigdon consults Trooper Brown, giving him an opportunity to share his opinion on the matter at hand.
What are your thoughts, Chris?
I kind of leaning more towards it's odd, but
it's not packaged like normal.
No, and he's answering the questions. There's receipts here, and
I would like to put the dog on the currency, man.
Okay. Yeah.
Did you hear what he said there? It's odd, but he's answering the questions. They're talking themselves into this.
Well, they already know they have nothing. Now they have to invent something. Now he has to invent something. He doesn't have a choice. It's all about the money now, and you can tell he's a greedy little piggy, and he wants it bad.
Can you not tell by the way they're talking? Can you not tell by the way they're talking that they agree that he's telling the truth?
Right.
Like he's not making this up. They said his story's not changing. It's a little odd, but he's answering the questions. And I got to put the dog on it now.
I know, it's ridiculous. They keep saying we have no reason to suspect this man of a damn thing. We have to do something else to find a suspicion. It's driving him nuts that he wants that money so bad. Man, I never thought I would see the day when I would necessarily have to call a pig to his face, but now I feel like it. You know, I don't normally talk to cops or about cops that way, but these guys are pig tyrant jackboot thugs right here. These are the guys. These are the ones.
Let's hear some
I'm
more.
sorry.
Yeah, I mean everything lines, as odd as it is, everything lines up.
But the travel story and stuff like that, man, I'm gonna get out my scale and agree with that.
Sergeant Rigdon requests the assistance of a second sniffer dog. This time, Trooper Brown uses his own dog to detect the bag of money. Trooper Brown's dog has just given a positive hit on the bag of money. However, it should be noted that according to a comprehensive review by the Journal of Forensic Sciences, several studies have shown that between 67 and 100% of circulated U.S. currency is contaminated with cocaine, leading them to the conclusion that a positive canine alert to U.S. currency is not sufficiently reliable to determine that currency was used in an illicit drug transaction.
Pause that, Debo.
Positive alert.
Now, here's the thing. If you were going to go buy drugs, you have a certain amount of money in your pocket, right? This other guy or woman, whoever, they've got a certain amount of drugs that you want to buy. So you now have made that transaction. You know, one thing I know about people who do and buy drugs, they don't spill it all over their damn money. Dumbasses. Like, how does this even make it legal to have a dog sniff money and then say, well, obviously this guy's had drugs because the money smells like it?
They don't even have the money in the car. They put it in the field and they make him sniff it.
Well, I know, but what I'm trying to say is most people who do drugs aren't so careless to pour their drugs all over their damn wallet or their money. That's not what happens. There's no reason that someone buying drugs would have drugs on the money. The drugs get on the money. I can tell you how. I've watched people roll up a $1 bill or a $10 bill or whatever they had in their hand and snort pills or cocaine through it. I've seen it many times in my life. That's how the drugs get on the money. It ain't because there was a deal struck. That's just dumb stuff. I don't even understand that, you know, drug dealers and drug buyers aren't so careless with their drugs that they spill it all over the money in their hand. That's just the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my whole life, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's a ridiculous thought.
Yep. Let's hear some more.
We'll go forward with it.
Okay.
With the go-ahead from his sergeant to begin the adoption, Trooper Brown walks to his truck to get a bank bag. Meanwhile, Stephen looks noticeably more antsy as he seems to realize where this is headed.
So nice the cash is not there anymore. Where's it at?
The Sarge took it. They did a secondary sniff, this little spot. I don't know what happened with that. Everything was on camera.
Okay. I'm just asking because that's my money.
Hey, I get it. No worries.
Soon, the sheriff arrives and is caught up on the situation.
We got a positive alert on the currency by itself. We had a positive alert on the car. Right now, we're just trying to determine whether or not it was proceeds. I believe it is proceeds. It is a big brick, and they're not old bills. He claims he's been saving it up over 20 years.
No, I hit 20-year bills.
No, those are all current bills. So.
It's really good, but they're it's just.
His travel plans are consistent with what we see with drug traffickers. So how much is in there?
About 100,000.
About 100,000. That money has not been saved up over 20 years. It's newer bills, so they're not 20-year-old bills. And it's not 100,000.
Okay, well, I'm guessing. And so that's my life savings. I've been saving since, so I went in the Marine Corps, which is in 2000. Okay. So that I've been saving for the last 20 years.
Roger. What we're going to do, I believe there's drug proceeds dog related to it.
Drug proceeds?
Yeah, it's very common, sir. We get people that are trafficking large quantities of marijuana.
Oh
Oh, that was funny shit. He said it's not uncommon for you to have a large amount of cash. It's just common that it's obviously drug money. Since we can't prove anything else, we're just going to declare it and take it from you. Watch this. Oh, my God. A damn United States Marine. These men should be kissing his ass, and they're stealing his money, Debo. They're taking this man's money. Wow.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
From
wow, I don't know what else to say.
All states east, even from Reno.
Sir, I can tell you right now.
I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen, okay? We're going to seize it today, but that doesn't mean we're the final judgment on it. It's going to go through the DEA, okay? So the DEA will contact you, and the DEA will provide you with a means to fight it. You're going to have to provide your pay stubs. You're going to have to provide your other receipts, stuff like that. Okay.
After receiving this distressing news, Stephen desperately tries to convince Sergeant Rigdon of his innocence one last time, not realizing that his mind has already been made up.
So if you take that money, I don't have any money for me and my kids this weekend. I don't have anything.
You got a wallet on you?
No. My jacket's in the car.
Okay.
I don't have anything.
You don't have a wallet? Where do you keep your identifications?
It's in my jacket.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm telling you, God is my witness. Now, I mean, I'm a retired Marine. I don't have any reason to do drugs or anything like that. That's my life savings right there for me and my daughter.
I respect your service, sir. I served as well.
Wow.
Okay.
What's
What's
that, Terry?
You mean if I take your money, sir, you don't have any other money? You don't have a wallet with a bunch of money in it? What the hell's going on here? You mean this $100,000 I took? There's no way I can believe that's all the money you had, sir. I hope you and your girl don't starve to death in the next week, but good luck talking to the fucking DEA. Oh my gosh, man.
He's got two daughters, and he has $2 in his pocket.
We are watching the cops steal fucking money in broad goddamn daylight right in front of everybody. Better be pissed about this. This is ridiculous. Ridiculous.
This is unbelievable.
I'm embarrassed to call these assholes cops and countrymen. They should be deported. They don't deserve to live here.
Yeah.
Now you know how I feel about it.
I have got cops doing stuff that they shouldn't be doing, and they go to jail for whatever they're doing.
That's not me.
So you're
got nothing to do with
who you are doesn't influence whether or not we take action on what we see. Okay, if it is legitimately earned income, you're going to be able to provide those pay stubs, and they'll give you all your money back.
What if it was under the table
I
work?
believe it's drug proceeds.
It's not drug proceeds.
What's that?
What happens if I earn that money in a way that was perfectly legal, lawful, and natural, but there's no pay stub on it? Think about how many times in life that's happened with you or anyone else, that money is put into your hand, but you wouldn't necessarily have a paper trail to prove that particular $5 bill belongs to you right now. You just kind of hope the fact that it's in your pocket proves ownership.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Kanye, these are Nevada Highway Patrol.
Imagine how many people they do this to every year. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Kanye says, feeling like this is close to home. Yeah, this is Nevada. Let's hear some more.
I'm telling you right now, it's not. I don't do drugs here. You want to do a drug test today? Let's do a drug test. I'm okay with that.
You know what a lot of drug traffickers use?
I don't know anything about drug trafficking.
I don't know what you know. But a lot of drug traffickers want these people with absolutely no criminal history. A guy with a long drug history or drug trafficking history is not going to be the one transporting the currency or transporting the drugs themselves.
Here's the thing. That money in there is, like I said, that money is my life savings. I'd like to go through. You want to take it? Okay. I'm going to give me an attorney. I want to know exactly how much you're taking.
I'll tell you what it weighed out at.
No, I would like to go bill by bill.
No, we're not going to bill by bill. What you'll see is seal it into a bag. Okay, into a bank bag.
Can I take a picture of that?
Yeah,
I'd like to take a picture of it.
As his reality comes crashing down, Stephen, while still remaining respectful, becomes more firm, a development which appears to take the sergeant aback slightly.
Do you mind if I take a video of it being still? I'd like to do that.
I think, you know what, you're on video right now, and we'll give you the case number, and you can request that information. You can request the entire recording and the entire stop.
Okay.
Everything that we did, sir.
Okay, get it. I'm not gonna totally cooperate with you guys.
I appreciate that, sir.
There's a receipt down there on the ground. I believe that's mine.
Hey, Dave, can you pick up that piece of paper? Yeah.
Throughout this incident, Stephen was under no obligation to answer all of their questions. It's evident that his willingness to cooperate was being exploited, and instead of acknowledging his innocence, the officers attempted to utilize his responses as a pretext to seek justification for seizing the cash. As Stephen is left with no choice but to come to terms with what happened, Trooper Brown has been busy bagging up his life savings. But before he's sent on his way, Stephen has some parting words for Trooper Brown.
Just want to let you know, I know you're just doing your job. Money that I have in my jacket is only $2. I need to pay for my kids, bills, my hotel. The reason I need that is I have to text. Got no way providing for my children. Just get back to Texas. I know you're just doing what you feel is best, but
Like you know, my sergeant. It sounded like my sergeant talked to you about that a little bit. Told you what was going on and those lines. So
I just wanted to tell you, Officer Brown. I mean, you're taking money out of my kids' mouths.
sorry.
Or you're taking food out of my kids' mouths.
Like I said, we believe right now that this is drug proceeds illicit currency.
Well, I'm going to prove to you that it's not.
Perfect.
In other words,
taking
they don't
down
give a
names
damn.
and badge numbers, Stephen drives away, likely.
What's that, Terry?
I said, in other words, we don't give a damn. We don't give a damn about you, sir. We don't give a damn about your military service. Fuck you and your little kids. We don't fucking care. We're going to take it all. Good luck on your $2, you damn criminal. Good luck. I hope you survive the judge, you dirty, nasty fucking man. Ooh, that cop. Man, I don't care much for them. Goddamn condescending pigs, man. That is bad. That is outright robbery, highway robbery, right in broad daylight in front of everybody. And if we allow this to continue, we're no better than the assholes out there doing it. That's what I say.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. That poor man.
They let him drive away with $2 in his pocket.
Right. Not giving a damn. They'd have sooner called CPS to come and get his kids and give him $10 to fucking feed them. That's ridiculous, man. Oh my gosh.
But if you're going to take $100,000 from somebody, why are you not under arrest?
That's a good question.
Like what? Like if they're just allowed to take his money and then just let him go? Like
Yes,
obviously, if you're going to take somebody's money, you're going to think if they're if they're for drugs, then he should be charged with a drug crime. But they can't charge him with a drug crime because he doesn't have any drugs on him. So the money should not be taken away.
It's commonly known as civil asset forfeiture in the United States. So if you hear those words, you'll know this is the kind of thing that's happening all around that. This is what that's about. They pull people over, they take their money and high-valued items, swear to God that it was traded or bought with drug money, and then go keep it all. And if that person, see, here's the problem. They took his whole $100,000. How in the hell is he going to afford to even drive back to where he came from, let alone get all the paperwork he needs to get, and the damned attorney to go get his own money back?
He can't even pay to get that tire fixed now.
Right? Got $2 in his pocket, can't even afford a hamburger with $2.
Or the gas money to probably get to California to see his kids. I mean, I think his daughters are older, but still, like, I mean,
that's crazy.
Hey, Gorilla Glue.
Craziness, man. I am so angry watching this. This disheartens me badly.
Let's hear the last little bit of it here.
Still reeling from that 90-minute whirlwind. Shortly after, Sergeant Rigdon and Trooper Brown head over to the bank to deposit the cash.
Okay, I want you to give me your honest opinion about this here, Terry, because this here to me, it's okay. They're laughing at it. It's a fucking joke to them. That's what this tells me right here.
Yeah, they are having fun.
Yeah, that's you guys must have had your ears burning because I was complaining about not having enough hundreds in my drawer.
The amount of money the Nevada Highway Patrol seized from Stephen turned out to be $86,900. Stephen made good on his promise to get an attorney, and his case wound up being taken on by the Institute for Justice, a nonprofit advocating for forfeiture reform and other issues they consider abuses of government power. Although the federal government had 90 days to obtain a criminal indictment, obtain an extension, or initiate federal civil forfeiture proceedings after a valid claim to the property had been filed, the money wasn't returned to him until over 6 months later after the lawsuit was filed, and after the media attention caused by Stephen's story being featured on the front page of the Washington Post. It's likely that the officers were aware of insufficient grounds to justify the seizure of the funds, which may explain the delay in filing the necessary action for the seizure or forfeiture of the money. Not wanting this to happen to anyone else, Stephen and IJ also sued the Nevada Highway Patrol in state court, but the case was put on pause for almost all of 2022. In January 2024, a judge rejected the Highway Patrol's motion to dismiss the lawsuit, allowing Stephen's claims to move forward. It only remains to be seen if Stephen will be awarded the ultimate justice for what he endured on that fateful day.
Yep, the poor feller don't die of old age before he can get it in front of a damn judge. This is ridiculous, man. Somebody should have to pay right now, not years from now. This crazy stuff. Is it okay because this guy stole something? Is it okay for me to go steal from him what he just stole? Does that make it right if I steal his stolen stuff? Does that make it okay? Because that's kind of what they're doing, ain't it? We believe you got this money by either illegal or dishonest means. Therefore, we're going to illegally and dishonestly take it away from you and use it ourselves.
Yeah.
Oh, what dishonorable pricks that makes them. And the entire justice system that allows this to happen to a civilian. I don't care if he did get it selling cocaine. I don't care where the money came from. They had no reason to suspect it at all. And that's crazy stuff. They stole that man's money. They mugged him, broad daylight. That's called an armed robbery right there. Now that I think about it, that is an armed robbery. Every one of them men were armed with a dog too. That was armed robbery.
Let me pull something up here. Let me see if I can go back to some of the comments. Give me a quick second here to look it up.
Well, while you're doing that, I'll talk to Gorilla Glue. It's good to see you out there. I always say that on my channel when someone comes in and says, oops, I'm late. I always say, hey, that's all right. We know you're on the tardy list. We put your name down, put a check mark beside it.
So let me share my screen. Let me share my screen. I'm going to show you some of the comments that they made over there. Can you see that on your screen?
I can't see it on mine so well, no. They can probably see it on theirs, though.
Okay, so let me go and make it a little bit bigger. But some of the comments are, this is how you turn a loyal, valuable citizen against the government.
Right.
Or it shouldn't be the responsibility of a citizen to prove they earned their money legitimately. It should be the officer's responsibility to prove they didn't.
Exactly. Innocent until proven guilty. You should never, ever have to prove your innocence. Ever. Shouldn't be required.
Or they wasted all this good citizens' time. Meanwhile, 10 cars actually trafficking drugs and money most likely went past. Or what a joke to arrest him over legal tender. It's not required to keep your money in any specific place. This is abuse of power.
Absolutely.
20 years of service just to be treated like a criminal.
Right. Right. And be treated. They didn't treat him like a criminal. They were the criminals. They treated him like a victim.
Yeah. And another person said he got his $87,000 back and now he's suing the state of Nevada.
Yeah, but that's still not going to make it right. You know what the worst part about a lawsuit is? If somebody has to pay, it's never the assholes that committed the crime. These cops get off scot-free, and if you're lucky, they'll get a few paid days off. Somebody will say, now, Bob, you know you can't do that, right? And Bob goes, yes, sir, I'm sorry. And they go, okay, get back out there then. I say it's high time we put a stop to that shit. And the only way that's going to happen is when the United States population start to unite, forgetting their differences, using those differences as empowerment, and we stop that. That's how we do that.
And
That's ridiculous.
another comment was update on Steven. He got back all of his money, but it took him over a year, and none of the officers involved were charged in any way. Steven was never charged, investigated, or even suspected of any crime. He is now an advocate for changing legal seizure policies and the laws.
Gee, I wonder why that would be. See, he should have got 100% interest on his money since they had it for so long. That's crazy, man. That poor man. I feel bad because, like, he's a fellow veteran, man. Had his name on the line like mine. Put his life in the way for them assholes, and they stole his money. Wow. I'm beside myself, man.
Another one says, this is the biggest BS. He says, I'm pro-police, but these guys took the law into their own hands, especially while the guy was willing to answer and prove any questions or allegations. I'm so mad. These cops need to be at least disciplined and taken in for more training. Offer an apology to this guy. No apology. Boot them off the force. It's a disgrace to law enforcement. If there's a GoFundMe for this guy, he wants to know what it is, and you're not. He says he's not alone, bro. So these are the comments on this guy's page, and this took a real hit. And I mean, everybody that's commenting on this video is for the guy. None of them are for the police at all.
Well, that's because it's obvious that they just literally armed robbed that man in broad daylight, right in front of everybody. The problem is that this isn't isolated, though. This is a bigger thing than that. This has happened to more than just this guy.
And you can see here, this video got 2.3 million views.
Wow.
Almost over 10,000 comments. And all the comments that I've read on here are in favor of the guy. I mean, this guy he never raised his voice. I mean, I would lose my mind if I lose $20. I lose $100,000.
Being robbed in broad daylight, whether they're wearing a badge or not, wouldn't go over too well with me. It wouldn't have went down. I would have ended up probably dead or in jail that day, because like I wouldn't have been as willing as he was. Like, there's no way. I can't be. That's everything. You can't take that. What are you doing? Why would you do that? That's what would be going through my mind. This makes no sense.
I'm going to throw the link down there if anybody wants to come up. But yeah, I was just this case really got to me, and I really wanted to get your opinion on it. And I've always been pro-police, and whenever I'm in the frauditor community, and I always think the police are doing the right thing. But I think this time they got it wrong.
I'm glad to hear you say that.
We had our disagreements before about, the two ladies that got caught with $2 million at a Toronto airport, and, kind of the same situation. But I think this guy here, being a former military man and in a rental car, and no evidence of he never had any drugs on him. Like they didn't find anything, and they let him go.
Right. He didn't break any laws, and they couldn't prove it. They just stole his money and sent him down the road. They didn't have anything to charge him with. They couldn't even be suspicious about anything. They admitted it all on their own cameras. Wow. Wow. And that kind of thing goes undisciplined, and, they keep doing it. Why? Because it's profitable. Most people won't come back after it.
See Dark Watch's comment?
No.
Says make sure you get that $90,000 out of your trunk just to be safe.
Well, I don't think they'll find it under all the coffee cups in there, sir. I think I'm good. Don't have to worry. Besides, don't everybody keep their money in their trunk under their coffee cups?
Yeah. Oh my God, they racial profiled him because he looks dark or Mexican.
That is possible. I can't know that, but that is possible.
That's what Connie said. But I can't believe this situation. I can't believe the story. It's unbelievable. I mean, and the fact that they let him I mean, I shouldn't say let him get away. They allowed him to leave.
Didn't even try. Didn't even try to lie about a charge, did they? Didn't even try, but they sure took his money. That blows my mind too, man. The fact they literally robbed this man in broad daylight, armed robbed him right in front of everybody. That is crazy stuff. It shouldn't be allowed to happen in this country. And when it does, there should be swift and severe retribution for that. There should be a reckoning. Not revenge, but damn sure a reckoning with people like that. I don't like liars and thieves, Debo. That's the two people that I will absolutely hate with every fiber of my being. I don't like someone that can't be honest with me, and I damn sure don't like somebody to take someone else's stuff.
That's unbelievable.
Well, thank you for bringing that to light. I've known that that's happened for a while, but of course, that video was great. It was a perfect one. It shows it exactly what's been going on, and hopefully this will help spread awareness to people.
Yeah. Well, how about we play your song? Everybody can hear your song, and then we'll play my song on the way out.
It's up to you, sir.
Let me hear. Where do I got? Do I got your song in here?
I don't know.
Give me a second here. Let's hear Ironton Otter song, and then we're gonna play a song from Gorilla Glue, and she made a song for me, and I want to play that on the way out. So thank you very much to Gorilla Glue. Thank you very much to Clay for making all of our other songs, and thank you all for watching, by the way. And it's been great bringing this to you. And Terry, it's been great having you up here. I don't do a lot of lives, so it's new for me as well. And thanks everybody for watching. So we're gonna play Terry's song, and then we're gonna play my song. And if anybody still wants to come up after that, then we'll come back for a short time. And then if not, we'll end it.
Let's do this.
Under the same skies. I am Don Arlington, the voice that sees, fighting for freedom for you and me. In the streets of Ironton we stand tall, guardians of justice answering the call. Ironton Arlington, the voice that sees, fighting for freedom for you and me. In the streets of Ironton we stand tall, guardians of justice, answering the call. Facing the blue with courage and grace, knowing the duty, understanding their place. All in masses and finances, the city's soul, working together, reaching our goal. For the betterment of all, we take this stand, building bridges hand in hand. With transparency and truth, we unite, shining the beacon in the fucking night. I am Don Arlington, the voice that sees, fighting for freedom for you and me. In the streets of Ironton we stand tall, guardians of justice answering the call. Ironton Arlington, the voice that sees, fighting for freedom for you and me. In the streets of Ironton we stand tall, guardians of justice answering the call. In every town let this anthem ring, from Ironton's heart let freedom sing. We the people, strong and free, united together, our destiny. The voice that sees, fighting for freedom for you and me. In the streets of Ironton we stand tall, guardians of justice answering the call. From the streets Leviathan to the nation's heart. We'll bridge the fucking gaps, play our part. In unity and strength, we find our way. For a planet tomorrow, we fight today. We are the guardians, we stand as one. In Iron, our journey's just begun.
That is an awesome song, and thanks again, Consistent Music.
Oh, sorry, Terry. Sorry, Terry. Yeah, that was a great song, but I just want to hear. I want everybody to hear this song as well. Gorilla Glue has made this for me, and I really, really like it. Well, I like all the songs, but she went ahead and made this for me. So thank you very much. Thanks again, Terry, for being here.
Thank you, sir.
You're about to right wrongs. Pick out the stupid that don't belong. The goodness of your heart, this is coming from. Rising stronger every day, shining a light for others so they can find a way. You make the shadow shine and give out a new lifeline. Devo, Devo, you're so smart. All of these idiots will be torn apart. Straight from the fist right to the heart. He will make you restart. Rising stronger every day, shining a light for others so they can find a way. You make the shadow shine and give out a new lifeline. Devo's rules with an iron fist, the body of a bull, very intense. He will expose you whenever the chance, and he'll spare you the song and dance.
Well, that was awesome. Loved it.
Rockin' song. That was awesome, Gorilla Glue. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much to Connie Corso for the donation. Thank you very much. Your generosity is greatly appreciated. Thank you for Greg Jonick for the donation on PayPal earlier today. Thank you very much. That was greatly appreciated. And I guess nobody wants to come up, so I guess that's it, Terry. Thank you very much for being here, and I hope there was a good video for you to commentate on. And I really enjoyed having you up here, and maybe we'll do it again.
Well, let me say thanks for having me here. I appreciate it. I always like to give my opinion. You all know I don't mind doing that.
Yeah.
And, of course, everybody out there in the chat, like I always say, thanks for being here. Thanks for taking the ride. I love each and every one of you, and I wish you all a great night.
Thank you all for watching, and until next time, Debo's out, and we are Debo Strong.